How's it everybody? Welcome back to Coral Reeches. It's Sanctum Gamer here, and we are back once again in our ever expanding region, about to continue the work on our beautiful city, which I think is shaping up to be very beautiful. In the last video, we incorporated a little bit more public transportation, where we extended the tram and bus networks from the main city center all the way over on this side, and we brought it into the cargo harbor area that is being developed over on this side. However, some people did mention that when you have major cargo harbors like this, generally you tend to see a lot of rail that connects up all of this place, because rail is sort of the backbone of cargo transport around the world. And then I realized that this area is actually shaping out a little bit more than I had intended for it to be. Some of you might recall that the main cargo area is meant to be on this side. So this is the area that I want the main cargo harbor to sit. This area, I started developing it as a short-term way of keeping jobs available for the people in the region. And as I continue to expand in this area, I need to start blending out this place into residential areas as I make my way down to this island over on that side. So I was never planning to put rail in this space. So what I want to do is, because I still have my unemployment crisis, I need to address that. So for that, I need to get myself back into this area, or rather move over into this area and start planning the large cargo harbor that I had wanted to build here in the first place. I will be able to put down as much industry as I want in this space, and then once I get my unemployment down to a manageable amount of 5% or less, then I can return back to that area, and then we can continue on the expansion. As you can see, this area is already laid out to have a lot of the train lines that is going to feed into the cargo harbor and stuff like that, and I just have been putting it off, but I think I can't put it off any longer. So I want to start addressing that from today. I am going to bring up the bulldozer, and I'm going to get rid of these ship lines over here, because I'm going to redo all of these around the landscaping that I'm about to do. So we're going to bring out quite a lot of land to try and shape up this place, which is going to represent where the harbor is going to sit. And then we're going to try and connect up this road from this side all the way up to this area and convert this into a nice big interchange of some sort, and then work out a way to bring my rail connection back down to all of this area, and then have it ready to feed into the cargo harbor that we're going to be building over here. So that is the plan. Let's do some terraforming, and let's see if we can get this whole area looking a nice kind of way. Alrighty, let's take a pause at this point. I have at least connected everything up, and I think I should be able to unpause the game, and we should have water coming in from here, as well as electricity also coming in from this road. Now, given how much industry I'm going to build here, I'm pretty sure I'm going to need its own high power line connected up to this space. So we're probably going to get a substation somewhere in and around this space. So we're going to connect all of that up at some point, but for now I think this is going to do. I'm going to unpause the game now, and everything should be connected up. I don't think this guy is going to be struggling with any issues with water or electricity. Great. I think I want to go ahead and add a train line that is going to connect up a few places. So I'm going to grab the passenger route, or the is that what it's called? Passenger rail tool. And we're going to connect it up from this side all the way down to the main city center, which is going to be over here. So I've still got one more line that is available for use over here. So I'm going to connect it up to there, and then we're going to bring it all the way back to this side. And that should now have some trains running between those two spots. So once we build out this area, we should be able to get people coming in and getting employment and everything. Then the next one is I'm going to connect up this side, and this one will connect up to the town of Shepherd over here. So I'll connect it up to this area, and then I'm going to bring it all the way back again to the cargo harbor over on this side. And then with that, I should hopefully start getting some trains running between the areas. So I'm gonna start with this area. We're gonna terraform this place a little bit more. So I've just got the basic shape going. Now I'm gonna start adding a lot of the details. So we're gonna reshape up quite a bit of this area. We're gonna build out little, I don't know, docks, quays, piers, wharfs, whatever those things are called and we're gonna fill in most of this place with just a whole bunch of industry with the odd office building sprinkled in here and there. All right, everybody, let's start terraforming this space out and let's start getting some industry in. Okay, let me just take a quick pause, because I've started detailing out this area a little bit, and I've been watching these trucks come out, and they've been going all the way around and obviously following this road, and then off they go into this space. Now the whole reason why I put this road here, this main expressway, is to make it easy for trucks to get on and off onto the main arterials that are going to run in and in between all of the towns. I'm thinking to myself that it'll be better off if I keep this as an elevated road all the way through, and then run a road next to it which, you know, can come on and off all of these spaces. So I'm thinking of doing that right now. But before I do that, let's have a look at the cargo harbor as it's starting to shape up. And I'm putting a whole lot of these containers because this is meant to be the main cargo port now of the city, and everything is starting to run nicely. Now these trucks are transporting a lot of stuff to the cargo harbor, but nothing really is going out of the city via the cargo harbor. So let's go ahead and let's create ourselves a couple of routes that will allow cargo to move in and out of the port areas. I have to first connect this up, so we'll just do a quick and simple connection over onto that side, and then we can grab the cargo port, and let's go ahead, create one from here to there and back here again. I'm going to connect this one up all the way up to that far end over there, so I have some cargo also running on the river, and then bring it back over onto this side. And then for the ports that's on the inside here, I will connect one to there, and oh, it didn't connect. I have to wait for it to find the path. So to there, and then to there. And then I was thinking to myself that instead of creating another route for this area, maybe this side can just have a ship that sits here permanently, and then it makes it look like it is, you know, being loaded with stuff. At least that's what I'm thinking. This is gonna have to do for now, and then we can go ahead and grab maybe a container or two. I think maybe just a small container asset. We'll place that on top of the ship, basically similar to how I've been detailing out the entire area up until this point, and then it just looks like it's being loaded for now, and boom, and there we go. What I'm going to do now is I am going to just quickly change this road, let it be an elevated segment, and then we will figure out a way to create an on and off ramp onto this one, and maybe actually bring this one to run next to this and even come underneath it and be that road that a lot of the development will sit around. let's take a look at where we are at. So I have elevated this road quite a bit, and I have now added a couple of on and off ramps. So there's a simple one here that allows us one way onto this and then off it goes. So the expectation is that a lot of the development that I'm going to do here will be able to get on from here. And of course, likewise, there's one that comes off and goes off in this direction. Now this road is going to have quite a number of intersections off of it, and then providing one or two areas where they can get onto the main expressway that cuts all the way through the industrial area. This is meant to be the main on and off ramp for the cargo port. So coming out of the cargo port, the trucks hopefully, let me unpause, the trucks hopefully can just come straight and they can get on and go off in that direction, or come on and go off in that direction. And likewise, they can approach it from here or from here, and then they can get access to that. Now, I really wanted this to be quite a wonky road. The idea is that it was built in to cut in between existing industrial developments, and it was made as a way of allowing for higher traffic flow and bypassing of the entire industrial area. What I didn't talk about when I was here is I removed this connection from here, then instead decided to keep it as a main road that runs at the back over here. And the idea here is that this road existed before, so this is the old existing road, and the highway was then built, or this expressway was then built as a way of cutting through the industry to provide a means of faster and easier access. But for now, I think this is pretty cool. I love the wonkiness of all of this area. I think this road is just coming together very, very nicely. I think I'll take a picture of this even and post this as a teaser. Who knows? But anyways, I'm gonna turn my attention back here now. Then we're gonna continue the expansion out in this area. We're gonna keep creating jobs. So we're gonna put down a couple more industrial buildings. I'll probably put in one or two more unique buildings to create a few more jobs. One of the things is that I wanted to add a bit of an expansion to this area so that this place has a little bit more storage, and I want to bring it right in so it looks like it's one big warehouse like that. And then I was looking at this thing, I was like, look, if I put this right here, right, like plonk, look at this. This cuts so beautifully. It's like right up against the water, and it just makes the whole place look so alive. And I like this. I really, really like that. And I was wondering if I could maybe get a road that I can perhaps join this area. Let's turn that off. Join this area. Oh, what's going on here? Why does it look weird? Join up this area like that, right? And then if I delete the road that's here, then this actually looks pretty nice. So everybody, we are good. I like the way that looks. Now let's try and see if I can get a lot of this area filled in. So I'm going to go into quite a bit of a time lapse where I'm going to try and fill in a substantial amount of this area. And let's see if we can at least finish this entire area in today's video. Guess who forgot to hit record? Yours truly. Anyways, you know what? I'm not gonna delete and redo. Basically, I put out this area. It's nothing too special, just a whole bunch of sort of truck storage areas, extended this a bit. I'm not sure if this is on camera or not, but then I put down this building and redirected this road around this building and out in that way. And this also then encourages a lot more of the trucks to use this off ramp, whatever you want to call it, off of the expressway, which is actually quite good. And then we're gonna then build out around this entire area and then try and see if I can get all of this area filled in. So yeah, sorry about that, bit of a boo-boo, missed that out, but this is really all that has been put in. I'm trying to get this place to look as busy as I possibly can. So we're gonna keep that up. We're gonna do this area and extend it. I think let's start off in this area. We're gonna extend on what we were doing before, and then let's try and get as much done as we possibly can. Alrighty, let's take a pause. Let's have a look at where things are at. And this port area is definitely looking nice and busy, the exact way that I want it, which is very, very good. It's coming together nicely. There's a lot of stuff just happening in and around this place. And you know what? I think in real life, you probably wouldn't find so many crates and stuff sitting right next to large containers. But I need to find a way to get this place looking busy, and I'm running out of detailing ideas. So I just slap a whole lot of these things down. And yeah, I think it looks like a lively place. Having the boats or the ships sitting over here also really helps. in getting the place looking more like, you know, stuff is happening, which I think is good. And over on this side where I put this ship, I see it keeps sinking. And it's like every time I do any kind of detailing somewhere, this boat sinks to the ground, and that's not good. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to basically remove it and say bye-bye to it. And then maybe rather connect up this side with maybe that one over there. That's something I haven't tried, right? And then they can ferry cargo between the two, and I don't know how optimized that will be. I don't know if I should actually even do that. I'm a little reluctant, but you know what? Let's go ahead and do it. So I'm gonna grab the cargo route and I'm going to connect it from this one, and then I think if I can just select one of these, or maybe the other one. Pathfinding failed. Oh, I remember I had this issue. You know what? I want to figure out what that is, because I've got, over on this side, I've got this one that isn't being used, but for whatever reason, I'm getting a pathfinding failed on it. So I'm going to leave it, and I'm going to try and do a connection from this side to that side at some point in the future. But for now, this is where we are at. Everything is coming together nicely. I realized that I haven't put down one of these buildings in quite a while, so I thought I would dump it down and hopefully they can help with all of the road maintenance in and around the space. What I want to do now, before we call it quits for the day, because I want to try and finish off this entire Nook area in today's video. So I want to try and branch off of this main expressway and get it to come into the space, and that is what's going to feed this area or allow traffic to get out, because right now the only way to get onto this is via this route, and I fear that in time this might get a bit choker blocked. So I'm gonna try and give another access point onto the main expressway from this area, and then as we continue development here, hopefully any high traffic that gets generated will be able to get on directly onto the space. So that's the plan. I want to see, I'm not entirely sure how I'm gonna get that to work, but probably only an off ramp here and here to come down and maybe create something off of here. I have no idea. It's something that I'm gonna have to figure out. But yeah, so far so good, liking the way everything is turning out. Alrighty, everybody. We filled out the vast majority of this place and I need to stop now. Otherwise, I am never going to stop. I am just going to keep going on and on and on. I think it's coming together. Also got this road coming in nicely and it sort of ends over on this side. And of course, we've got this connection over here. There is one that is missing, which is one that comes off of this area, but it's fine. I'm going to leave it the way it is for now. I rather instead got one that comes off over on this side, and then I will create a way for it to be able to get into this area and thus giving access into that space. So I don't want every single off ramp and on ramp to be offering, you know, every direction's access. Just trying to play around with it a little bit, and so I'm gonna leave it like this. I think this looks pretty cool, and I got rid of this one because it wasn't getting used, and I think at some point I want to change this to 2 roundabouts, because I find a lot of the cars that come from here tend to turn up this way, which is not cool. Even though I've turned off the right turn, they're still doing it. So it means that there is a need for cars who want to access the freeway going in that direction. So I'll probably update these intersections at some point. As you can see, there we go, they're actually doing it already. But overall, it looks good. I like the way this turned out. I spent way too much time on this that I would care to admit, but I mean, look at the beauty of it. It's such a beautiful, smooth ramp that goes all the way around. This is why I build roads, to get nice, smooth off ramps and flyovers like that, which I absolutely love. And then of course, the entire area has turned out pretty good. I like how it has all come together. I'm loving introducing a couple of these mid-height trolleys, mixing in office and industry. And overall, when you look at it, my population is starting to rise again. I mean, we started off, I think, 173,000 or something, and it's going up all over again. And since completing this build, I've booted in and out of the game 1 or 2 times, and I didn't see that massive decline in population. So that is a positive. I'm very happy. We're making a ton of money, which is also good. And if you look at my unemployment rate, it is down to, well, 13% now, which I think is fantastic. It's a 10% drop from when we started. So I'm hoping that in the coming video or 2, we'll get down into a single digits as we expand out on all of this area. I would like to send a shout out to my patrons who are playing around with the save game. They dumped a whole bunch of industry on the map, and they realized that, you know, just by doing that, we can kill off our unemployment rates, we can get the population back up. So yeah, thank you so much for that. If you also want to play around with the save game, jump on my Patreon and you'll be able to get access to it over there. But otherwise, everybody, I think this is turning out very, very good. The cargo harbor for the most part is done. The rest of this area is going to be mainly industry, but we're still gonna bring things out into the river, and that's the reason why I've left these to be zonable roads that I've used over here to allow me to build little quays and piers and wharfs and all of those good things. And then as we expand out into this area, this is probably the space where I will have the oil harbor, mostly together with things like the ship repair yard and stuff. All of that will be in and around the space. And then I'm hoping that we'll close off all of this area, get everything looking good. I'll kill off this pipe, which I have following all of this. I'll probably have it join a road somewhere, and yeah, everything will be good. But otherwise, that's it, everybody. I want to say thank you so much for watching. Really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please be sure to give it a thumbs up. Hit the subscribe button if you've been here a while and you haven't done so already. And don't forget to turn on all of the notifications so you don't miss a single video going forward. Big thanks to all of my patrons and YouTube members for all the extra support you continue to choose to show their channel. It is truly appreciated. Enjoy the cinematics of our beautiful new harbor, and I shall catch you all in the next one. Cheers, everybody.